Help me in welcoming award-winning doctor and travel medicine expert, Dr. Sarah Kohl. Sarah?
Thank you. Thank you so much, Jeff. Billy is an investment banker. He makes a fortune putting together multi-million-dollar deals. And he's got this great gig. Every year, he takes his clients to the Chinese beauty pageant. No, not that kind of beauty pageant. He goes to the investment banker beauty pageant. What they do is they line up manufacturers with investment opportunities. And he was in the middle of putting together a big deal. It was going to be at least $3 million. And he was so pleased with himself. And as is usual and customary, they went out to eat. He was really, felt like the host of the whole party. And they're in the restaurant, and there's, laughing and telling stories. And then the menu comes around. He's a little embarrassed because he doesn't know how to read Chinese. So he figures when in Rome, and he just starts picking off the banquet table. And the evening goes along, and he's very pleased with himself. And he goes back to his hotel room thinking, this deal's a done deal. Tomorrow we ink the thing, I get my commission, everybody's happy. But then, at 2 a.m., he awoke with the worst belly pain ever, and little unmentionables. And he did not know what to do. So he took the next plane home. He didn't even go see a doctor. And this is really a problem. It's a problem because he exposed everybody on that plane to his infection. He exposed everybody in his family to that infection until his doctor got him cleaned up. But worst of all, he abandoned his clients in China. He just left them there. And you can imagine, the deal fell through. That client did not want to talk to Billy or his company ever again. If you're going to do business abroad, you're going to need to prepare. Because if you don't, you are going to lose, and your company's going to lose, money and clients. Maybe you're not an investment banker. Maybe you go abroad to inspect manufacturing plants, or you give seminars, or maybe you're bringing a new division online. But if you go abroad for business, you need to prepare. You need to plan for success. People ask me all the time, can I just go without doing anything? And I say, sure, you can go. But if you go abroad without preparing, it's like going out in the snow without a winter jacket. You can do it. You're eventually going to get cold. Or to put it another way, you can eat fast food all the time, but eventually you're going to have some health problems. So today I want to talk to you about three things. I want to talk about three things every business traveler should put together before they travel. You need a plan to recover from jet lag. Because in my opinion, jet lag is the single biggest drag on workplace productivity. The second thing I want you to do is I want you to learn how to efficiently get the right information. Because in this age of information overload, it can be very hard to find out what information you need to know for you and your destination. And the third thing I want you to do is to learn how to plan and prepare with enough time. Because planning at the last minute and preparing at the last minute, it's just really like not doing anything at all. Do not underestimate the power of jet lag. My son goes to college in Western Massachusetts. And about twice a semester, we like to go visit him. It's a long drive from Pittsburgh, about 10 hours. And so what's usual is we work on Fridays, and then we get off early, hop in the car, and drive up. And we'll drive halfway, stay at a hotel, and then go the rest of the way the next morning. Well, Friday didn't go the way it was supposed to. It was a really exhausting day. Work ran over, couldn't get out on time. But I still really wanted to see him, so I hopped in the car with my husband, and we went anyway. And don't you know it? The minute we crossed that New York state line, whoop, 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 whoop. I'm like, oh boy. And I didn't even know what was wrong, because I'm driving, I'm doing the speed limit. So I pulled over, and I got my stuff out of the glove box while the officer walked up. And he walks up, and he says, "Ma'am, how long you been driving?" About 40 years. "Ma'am, how long you been driving tonight?" "Oh, 4 hours." He says, "You are doing a terrible job. You're like weaving in and out of the lanes. I thought you were drunk. That's why I pulled you over." I'm like, "Me, drunk? I haven't had a drink in 6 days." He said, "Ma'am, why don't you and your husband switch?" And that's the way it is when you're jet lagged or sleep deprived. You think you're doing a good job, you're sure you're doing a good job, but everybody else around you can see that you're functioning as if you're intoxicated. And so we switched drivers, and we made it to the hotel without any further ado. But jet lag is a serious problem for business travelers because we're not just jet lagged, we're also having trouble with a little bit of sleep deprivation. You know, when you sleep on the airplane, you don't get very good rest. And so your body has these natural rhythms every day, rhythms of sleep and wakefulness. We have rhythms of when we eat and when we're not hungry. We even have rhythms of when we have nice reaction times and when we have slow reaction times. And when you get jet lagged, when you cross 3 or more time zones, you get a little chaos inside, a little internal time chaos. And you know you feel it because you feel bad. Your stomach hurts, your head hurts, you can't think right. You're falling asleep during the day, you're falling asleep at night. Actually, you can't sleep at night, and you're just not functioning very well. But here's the scary part. Scientists have figured out that if you cross more than 3 time zones, you have a 50% reduction in your ability to learn new things. 50%. And it's more than that. It's not just till you feel better in a couple days. It lasts up to a month. So when you come back to the office, you're still not functioning very well. This is a serious problem for business travelers. And then if you're a business traveler that travels all the time, one that goes maybe across time zones on a regular basis, or you work in the airline industry, your brain actually shrinks. Your hippocampus gets small. It gets smaller, and that's the part of your brain that's where you, memory, analytic skills, problem solving, all the stuff you need to do for business. And so this is a serious problem. Our bodies weren't built for jet travel. Our bodies weren't built for this internal chaos. It's really hard. But fortunately, there are things you can do. You can actually learn to minimize the effect of jet lag. You can learn to recover quicker, and you can improve your function tremendously. So what you want to do? You're going to want to learn to manipulate exposure to the sunlight every day. You're going to learn to take melatonin at the right times. Melatonin is your body's natural sleep hormone, and it comes as a supplement. And you need to talk to your doctor about how to manage your schedule, your sleep schedule, and your work schedule so that you're doing business at the peak times of efficiency for you. Because you don't want to be that drunk guy at the party, you know, the one with too many drinks. And he's like offering rides to everybody. You're thinking, I'm not going home with him. He's had too much to drink. And he's like, I'm good. Do not be that guy. Do not crash. Learn to manage your jet lag. Has this ever happened to you? Where you've gone on the internet, like you had a little cough or a little sore throat, and you thought you'd go on like WebMD and see what it is. And you're looking there, and you're looking on WebMD, and you're thinking, wonder what this is. And then it says like it's a virus or a cold. Just take some Tylenol and rest, and you'll be better. And one day you're doing that, and you're looking because you have like a fever and a sore throat and a rash, and it says these really weird names, like things you can't pronounce, things that rhyme with the word phobia. And you're thinking, oh my God, this could be fatal. You think, I got to get a second opinion. So you go to your doctor, and you're telling your doctor this whole story about, like, oh, this the rash, the fever, the headache, and he's looking at you like, why are you here? So you push a little piece of paper across the table. It has a name that you can't pronounce that rhymes with phobia. He's like, oh, you don't have that. Take some Tylenol, go home and rest. It can be, I call that the Chicken Little effect. This happens in travel medicine also. You get on the internet, and you're going from website to website to website. Next thing you know, you're falling down some little rabbit hole, and you're on like Aunt Sally's crazy website, and she's selling you snake oil. You're like, this has just got to stop. So what you need to do is learn about the Chicken Little effect. You remember Chicken Little. She's walking along, The sky is falling. The sky is falling. It could be malaria. It could be dengue. It could be chikungunya. It could be Ebola. Stop. That's not what it is. You need to go to reputable websites. You need to go to websites that have accurate, factual information for you. You want to go to the CDC website for health information, and you want to go to the State Department website for security and security and safety information. These two websites are chock full of helpful information. When you go there, you will enter information in about your planned destination, your own health, and exactly what you'll be doing. And they have a comprehensive list comes out. And the State Department will even send updates right to your inbox. So you'll be abreast of all the latest security and safety issues in that particular destination. But the problem is, it's so comprehensive. And you don't know what you're supposed to worry about. So take the list to your doctor. When you take it to your doctor, they'll help you go through, figure out what applies to you, what doesn't apply to you, what you should actually worry about, and what you just really don't need to worry about. So if Chicken Little had done this, then she would have known that there were oak trees over here, and if they had oak trees over here, acorns fall on your head, and she would just have walked right around the oak trees, and we'd have no sky is falling. The other day, I was working in the office. It's like a usual day in the afternoon. And in comes this guy, Norbert. He is a piece of work. This guy, he's too much. He comes in, he's like, "Hey, Doc, you running on time?" "Yeah, sure, why?" "Well, I'm going to India and you got to get me ready." "Okay. When are you leaving? How can I help you?" "Oh, I'm on the way to the airport. We got 3 hours." I'm thinking, really? Really, you're on the way to the airport and we have 3 hours and I have to get you ready? This is not going to be good. But, okay, Norbert, what can I do to help you? "I got it all set, Doc. I've been on the internet. I know exactly what I need. And I want that Japanese encephalitis vaccine." And I'm thinking, everybody's an expert because they've been on the internet. This is going to really be a bit of a challenge. So I'm talking to Norbert. "Norbert, I can't give you that Japanese encephalitis vaccine. I know that you think you want it, but you don't need it, and it takes 4 weeks to complete the series. But I'm looking through your chart. You haven't had a tetanus shot in 15 years. How about a tetanus shot?" "Nope. Gonna get that when I get home from my regular doctor." I'm like, "But Norbert, you're gonna need that when you're there." He's like, "Nope, I'm good. Got my medical kit. I just wanted that Japanese encephalitis vaccine, and if you're not going to give it to me, then I think we're done." "But Norbert, when you go to India, there's a lot of health concerns there. Why don't I just write you a few prescriptions that you could pick up from the pharmacy on the way to the airport? Like pills for malaria, for example." "No, I read on the internet, they have really bad side effects. Don't want those pills for malaria." But Norbert, malaria has bad side effects too. It can kill you. And then he left, just like that. I really didn't think much more about it until 3 weeks later when his HR director, Maureen, she called me up. Oh, was she mad. Woo! She's calling me up and she's screaming at me on the phone. "What did you do with Norbert? He was sick for 3 days. He didn't finish his project. You were supposed to get him ready." I'm like, "Maureen, he didn't come in till he was on the way to the airport, and he didn't follow any of my advice." So Norbert's problem was that he got so busy on the internet looking at all the sexy things like Japanese encephalitis that he forgot that it's the common things, tetanus, malaria, things like that you really need to get protected for. It's easy to do, but if you want to be healthy when you travel, and you want to be productive when you travel, and you don't want to be a Norbert when you travel, you got to get ready. And this is not the only crazy thing my patients have done. You know what? If you're going to Beijing and you have asthma, don't be a Norbert. Don't forget to take your inhaler with you because you are going to have an asthma flare-up. It is the most polluted city on the planet. And if you are going to a developing country and there's a buffet out there with all kinds of food on it, don't be a Norbert. Don't eat off that buffet. It's a petri dish full of germs. Talk to your doctor about how to get fresh food that's safe and healthy for you. And if you are going to go see a travel specialist before you go, don't be a Norbert. See the right doctor. Ladies, a gynecologist is a specialist in delivering babies. They are not travel specialists, even if they travel a lot. What you need to do is see your family doctor or your travel health specialist. And if you need insulin and you have diabetes, don't be a Norbert. Do not pack your insulin in the checked luggage where it gets lost or stolen. Do you know how hard it is to find insulin on a thing? Pack it, take it through the TSA. All right, so we all do idiotic things from time to time. We all forget and do silly things. But if you want to be healthy and productive and really do a fantastic job when you're traveling abroad, you're going to have to learn to prepare. You're going to need to take some time to talk to your doctor about the health issues that apply to you, and please take their advice. They actually want you to be well when you're traveling. Did you know the one single thing that most people forget when they're traveling abroad, the thing that makes a difference between being successful and being not successful, is preparing. They think they're going to prepare. They plan to prepare. They tell their family they're going to prepare. They don't actually execute. They don't actually prepare. And so I want you to prepare. I want you to take time, to plan some time to recover from jet lag. I want you to learn how to manage that so that you can be very productive when you're traveling. I want you to get the health information, the right health information, the health information that applies to you. And I want you to take enough time to prepare. Because if you don't take enough time, it's as if you're stopping by on your way to the airport. If you want to be productive, if you want to get the most out of your workday, and you want to avoid the hidden health risks that can derail your business trip, you need to prepare. I'd like to leave you one closing thought. Expect the best, plan for the worst, and prepare to be surprised. Because if you plan for the worst, you're going to enjoy the best, and the surprises won't bother you. Thank you.